Most people don't realize you can run Windows 11 on a computer with just 256 megabytes of RAM. That's not a typo. I'm talking about Tiny 11 26H2V1, the latest build that strips out all the junk Microsoft forces on you. If your old laptop feels like it's dying, stick around, because what I'm about to show you might save it. Hello and hey there, HT family, and if you keep coming back to this channel, good to have you here again. Today, we're putting Tiny 11 26H2V1 up against Windows 11 side by side to see who really comes out on top. If you're wondering where to grab this OS, the link is sitting in our pinned comment, along with a link to the full installation video over on our channel, Apidus. Before we jump in, one quick note. This is a premium build, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why. Keep an eye on the screen for everything you get with it, and you'll see why it's worth every penny. Let's start right at the top with pre-installed apps. Windows 11 hands you a start menu that's already crowded. Pins everywhere, recommendations you never asked for, and 34 pre-installed apps. Most of which, by the way, you can't even remove. That's Windows 11 for you, cluttered and unfocused before you've even touched it. Tiny 11 takes the opposite approach, a clean start menu, 0 pinned apps, 0 recommendations, and the pre-installed app count, 0. Which means you decide what goes on your machine, not Microsoft. Now let's talk disk space. Windows 11 eats up 37.8 gigs on a fresh install. Your storage is disappearing before you've installed a single program. Tiny 11 uses just 750 gigs after installation, lighter, smaller, and it leaves you with way more room for the stuff that actually matters, your apps, your files. Next up, everyone's favorite test, idle RAM usage. Windows 11 sits at 2.7 gigs of RAM usage on a 4 gig machine, doing absolutely nothing. That's over half your memory gone before you've even opened anything. A couple of Chrome tabs and the whole system practically grinds to a halt. Tiny 11 doesn't have that problem. On the same 4 gig setup, idle usage sits at just 1.4 gigs, noticeably cleaner. And if even that feels like too much, that's where Velotic Pro comes in. Open it up, head to the cleanup page, and switch on AI RAM cleaning. Within seconds, your RAM usage drops all the way down to 0.6 gigs. If you want a Windows setup that's cleaner, lighter on RAM, and free of bloat, Velotic is the tool for that. And no, this isn't a sponsor. We built it ourselves. Velotic is a Windows utility that brings your PC maintenance into one place. Let me show you what it does. The dashboard. A clear readout of your system, processor, memory, storage. The information you need without opening half a dozen menus. Gaming. Velotic adjusts settings to improve frame rates and configure your GPU for games. The changes are applied for you. No manual registry edits, no guessing which toggle matters. Automatic cleanup. When your system needs it, Velotic frees RAM and removes junk files. It runs quietly in the background. You set your preferences and leave it alone. Debloat. Choose a pre-built profile or create your own. Remove bundled software and services you do not want. Windows stays, just leaner, closer to how you prefer it. App installs. Search for software inside Velotic and install directly. One step, one source. No third-party download sites, no extra installers bundled in. Compression and power tuning. Compress disk data to recover space, up to 70% on supported files with no noticeable performance hit. Separate tools tune the CPU for lower heat and better battery life on portable machines. 500 plus tweaks. Fine-grained control over how Windows behaves. Every change is optional. Use as many or as few as you want. Everything in one application. Cleanup, debloating, installs, compression, tweaks, normally scattered across separate tools. Velotic combines them. Early bird access is linked below. Windows 11 to Tiny 11. Open debloat, select Tiny 11, press play. Velotic manages the full debloat from start to finish. That is the workflow most users come for. Velotic is available now at early bird pricing, link in the description. Back to the benchmarks. Let's look at CPU usage on both systems. Windows 11 is running 156 processes, 2100 threads, and 64,000 handles just sitting idle. That's a lot happening in the background for a system doing nothing. Tiny 11 on the exact same hardware runs 87 processes, 1100 threads. and 32,000 handles, significantly lighter, and that translates into real benefits: better temperatures, higher FPS in games, and lower latency. Now for the test that really shows the gap, GeekBench 6, this is where the numbers speak for themselves. Windows 11 scores 2,272 on single-core and 5,469 on multi-core. Run that same test, same hardware on Tiny 11, and you get 2,437 single-core and 6,710 multi-core. Same machine, same test, and one clearly pulls ahead. We'll drop the links to both benchmark results in the description so you can go verify them yourself. Let's move into configuration. Windows Defender is fully functional in Tiny 11 26H2V1. It just comes disabled by default, so it isn't running in the background, flagging false positives and slowing things down, but if you want it on, it takes a few clicks. Open the Configure app, head to the Defender section, and hit Enable. That's it. Defender's live. You can double-check it in the Security Center if you want peace of mind. Now, updates. Security updates are turned on by default. That means only security patches install automatically in the background. Everything else stays paused. Only turn on the rest if you actually need them, because unpausing updates can bring back some of that Microsoft bloatware you were trying to avoid in the first place. You can also disable updates entirely from the Configure app, but we wouldn't recommend it. Doing that breaks the Microsoft Store. Speaking of which, the Microsoft Store works in Tiny 11 exactly like it does on any other version of Windows. Since Tiny 11 ships with 0 pre-installed apps, you'll need the store for your daily essentials: notepad, calculator, snipping tool, that kind of thing. Just open it up like normal, search for what you need, hit Get, and installation starts right away. Got a Microsoft or Xbox account? Sign in and you'll have access to everything you've already purchased, apps and games included. And once it's installed, something like Notepad runs perfectly. No hiccups at all. Now here's the test Tiny 11 is best known for: booting up on just 256 megabytes of RAM. For some perspective, 256 megabytes of RAM was standard back in the 1990s, 30 years ago. And here we are in 2026 watching a modern build match that same number. Is it fast at that RAM level? No, not really. But speed isn't the point here. The point is just how far down it can go and still work. And when we say stable, we mean it. It doesn't crash, not even at 256 megabytes. We've held up our end of the deal. Now it's your turn. If you liked what you saw, hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. You'll find the purchase link for Tiny 11 in our pinned comment. What you're getting here is security and support, something the other builds simply don't offer. Yes, free builds exist, but they come with risks. Some are unstable, some are flat out broken, and some have malware buried inside. Here's the simple version. You get an OS that's safe, stable, and built for real everyday use. And if anything ever goes wrong, we're right here to help. So go grab it before this deal disappears. Thanks for watching. This is the Harbor of Tech signing off.